Hello world, I am Kronos. Welcome. So today we're outside again. Uh, I thought it would be appropriate because it's story time, and I was inspired by a chapter in Lucius Seneca's Letters from a Stoic, chapter 3. I was actually inspired a long time ago, and I thought about this a long time ago. It's a chapter about friendship, true and false friendship, and the difference between them. And for a long time, I looked for the right words to express to some people why I don't consider them friends. People that I used to consider friends, and deep inside knew that they weren't my friends, or found out in one way or another that they weren't really my friends. And I never quite found the words to express it as precisely as this, and it explains it so well. I believe maybe you feel the same, maybe you have the same issue, and this helps when you're able to identify and categorize what true friendship really is. Then you're able to discern who is really a friend, who's not. So it's very helpful to understand true friendship. So I'll read a part, then we'll talk about it, then another part. We'll just go little by little and understand the meaning. Alright, I might put the lyrics, the words on the screen. We'll see about that. Gonna take some editing. Anyway, let's dive right in. On true and false friendship. You have sent a letter to me through the hand of a quote-unquote friend of yours, as you call him. And in the very next sentence, you warn me not to discuss with him all the matters that concern me, saying that even you yourself are not accustomed to this. In other words, you have in the same letter affirmed and denied that he is your friend. So basically he's saying, if you warn me, if you call someone your friend, but you hide something from him, you hide concerns or things from him about yourself, then how is he your friend? In the same letter, you call someone a friend and you deny that he's your friend by saying, don't tell him this and that. Hide something from him. So that's behind his back, and that's not true friendship. Pretty simple. Now, if you use this word of ours in a popular sense and call him quote-unquote friend, in the same way in which we speak of all candidates for election as quote-unquote honorable gentlemen, and as we greet all men whom we meet casually, if their name slips us for the moment, with the salutation quote-unquote my dear sir, so be it. What is he saying? So if you use the word friend and you mean it as in he equates it to calling a politician honorable gentleman. So he's basically being sarcastic. At least from this translation, that's how it seems. But if you use the word friend, like you use the word honorable gentleman for a politician, you're lying. Because politicians are not honorable gentlemen, obviously. That's the whole. So basically, the word loses its meaning if you use it casually. When you meet someone and you forget his name, basically he's emphasizing that he's not really a friend. You don't even remember his name. So you call him dear sir, which I guess is how they greeted people casually back then. Then he's not. Then so be it. Like if there is no substance, no meaning, no true meaning behind the word when you use it, then so be it. Then fine. So it's kind of funny. He's equating it to politicians that are known to be corrupt and not honorable. So yes. So, but if you consider any man a friend whom you do not trust as you trust yourself, you are mightily mistaken, and you do not sufficiently understand what true friendship means. So he's building on that. True friend is someone you can trust. And not only that, he's saying you should trust your friends as you trust yourself. You should be completely open, metaphorically naked, in front of your friends. You should be able to be yourself, talk about anything, and be completely transparent. That's true friendship. Because a true friend will accept you with your flaws and with your uniqueness. When you're dealing with fake people and you have to fake it in order to fit in, that's not friendship. If you have to wear a mask or play a character or hide your true feelings, or you have to prove yourself, or you have to change the way you behave or think to fit their vision of you, that's not true friendship. And not only that, I'll add to that, you're hurting yourself, because it's much better to be alone and yourself than to be with fake people that make you feel like you're alone. Because when you can't be yourself around them, then you can't express yourself truly, and then you feel alone. When do we feel alone? Lonely, should I say? Not alone, lonely. When we feel that we are not understood by anyone, when we can't communicate, when we can't connect, that's when we feel lonely. So if you're surrounded by fake friends, you will feel lonely. You can be surrounded by many people and still be lonely, because you cannot express yourself. Nobody understands you. You're not truly yourself in front of them. So you're really hurting yourself, and you should think about that. Now, indeed, I would have you discuss everything with a friend. But first of all, you discuss the man himself. When friendship is settled, you must trust. Before friendship is formed, you must pass judgment. Those persons indeed put less first and confound their duties, who, violating the rules of Theophrastus, which is a Greek name that I can't pronounce. Judge a man after they have made him his friend, instead of making him their friend after they have judged him. Ponder for a long time. I'm continuing because it's the same. He's saying the same thing. He's just building on it. Ponder for a long time whether you shall admit a given person to your friendship. But when you have decided to admit him, welcome him with all your heart and soul. Speak as boldly with him as with yourself, as to yourself. Although you should live in such a way that you trust your own self with nothing which you could not entrust even to your enemy, yet, since certain matters occur which convention keeps secret, you should share with a friend at least your worries and your reflections. So, before, what he's saying is, most people, he's given an example, consider people their friends before they are actually proven themselves and before they really got to know the person. And it should be the other way around. If you commit someone to be your friend and you consider them your friend, it should be they should have already passed the judgment, quote unquote. You should already know them enough and not judge them. They already passed the test. If you commit someone to be your friend and then you judge them, well, they're not really your friend. You committed them, you are being fake yourself, basically. And so before you commit to a friendship, before you call the friendship, for it to have true meaning, you must first get to know the person. That's what he means by, indeed, I would have you discuss everything with a friend, but first of all discuss the man himself. So first discuss each other, get to know each other before you get to problems, to issues, to, get to know each other truly. That's true friendship. So you should really take it to heart, and you should really select your friends with strict conditions, because it's important. You don't want, see, not only is it that you would be hanging around with someone who doesn't have your best interest at heart, and you would be wasting a lot of time with fake people, but you are really betraying yourself, and you will be attracting this kind of people. You are being fake, you will attract fake people. True friendship, people that are truly friends, it's a two-way street. You could be a true friend and have fake friends, and then it's up to you to identify it and fix it and get away from them and attract true friends, which you deserve. So he continues, regard him as loyal, and you will make him loyal. Some, for example, fearing to be deceived, have taught men to deceive by their suspicions. They have given their friend the right to do wrong. Why need I keep my back any words in the presence of my friend? Keep back any words in the presence of my friend. Why should I not regard myself as alone when in his company? Again, you should be able to be completely yourself with your friends, naked, metaphorically. You should be able to talk about anything, and you should be able to be with them as you are with yourself. There should be no secrets. When you are honorable, and when you know yourself, and when you have a true friend, those things are natural. If you find yourself that you need to play a game, or that you can't truly be yourself, or when you are in the presence of a friend, quote unquote, then know that either you don't consider them a true friend, or you believe that they don't consider you a true friend. Either way, there is issues there. It's not true friendship. So there is a class of men who communicate to anyone whom they meet matters which should be revealed to friends alone, and unload upon the chance listener whatever irks them. Others, again, fear to confide in their closest intimates, and if it were possible, they would not trust even themselves, burying their secrets deep in their hearts. But we should do neither. It is equally faulty to trust everyone and to trust no one. Yet the former fault is, I should say, the more ingenuous. The latter the more safe. In like manner, you should rebuke those kinds of men. Two kinds of men, both those who always lack repose and those who are always in repose. So, some people will entrust their biggest secrets in strangers, and some people don't even trust themselves with their biggest secrets, or anyone close to them with anything. Both of those you should be aware of and be careful of. But the first one is, well, more ingenuous. The latter the more safe. So if you don't reveal anything, then it's safer, quote unquote, right? You don't reveal anything to anyone. But the first one, when you tell your secrets to strangers and you avoid telling it to your closest friends, that's the most ingenuous. That's the worst it can be, because you apparently either you don't have anyone to share your true self with, which is something to learn from and look into truly, or you don't trust nobody, even yourself, with those secrets, which says something about you. Why? You should ask yourself why. Why can't I trust anyone? If you can't trust anyone, maybe people can trust you. You should really, because we attract what we are, not what we say we are. Some people will give you their word, they will swear, they will put their honor on something, and then they will not do it and lie about it. And not necessarily lie. In that moment they might believe themselves. They might deceive themselves and believe that what they're saying is true, but in truthfulness there is nothing behind it. People who commit to something and then at the last moment don't do it, it's a character thing, and it's development issues, and you should look into it. Because if you want people to trust you, you should be trustworthy, and if you want people to, for example, be on time, then you should be on time. If you want people to, not only that, but you attract that. We attract what we are. So if I'm trustworthy, I will attract trustworthy people. It doesn't mean I will never meet ingenuous people, but in general, your energy, your being will attract this kind of people. So know that you attract what you are, and the universe only reflects what you believe and how you behave. So if you find yourself surrounded by fake people, people you can't trust, and you find yourself lonely, look within. Don't blame the world and everyone for your problems. And I know people like that. I know people that I know a person who always complains, and no matter what happens, it's never his fault. We all know that person. No matter what happens, and I used to be that person when I was younger. And the problem with that is when you look outside, you can't control outside, only inside. So when you look outside, you give up control, and then you can change. If you want to change, if you truly want to change, first of all, you have to be honest with yourself and understand that you are the problem. For you are the problem. So how about fixing you? If everyone abandons you and nobody trusts you, are you doing, look at yourself, are you doing the same? If you're true with yourself, you will see that you are. And you will see that you are creating this. And you're summoning it, you're attracting it. And the best part about this, and the good part, the positive, and what you should be happy about, is that if it is you, then you can fix it. You can change it. Change yourself, change the world. So, I think this is enough of the book. We can just continue talking. I might do this more. I don't know. Probably. Read really smart arguments that stand up to me in books and share it, and we can digest it and analyze it. I'll get better at this. You have to realize I'm doing this like one take. I'm not used to reading or being in front of a camera. So anyway, no excuses. I'll get better, a lot better. And back to the topic, so I'll give you an example. You have a car and your friends don't, and they hang out with you because you have a car. That's not true friendship. You provide something to people, or like maybe weed, I don't know, alcohol. Maybe you have the house to yourself, and they're suddenly your friends. They're not your friends. Maybe this was my problem. Well, not a problem, it's a lesson, like everything, but it created issues. I was good with women, and I am good with women, and so guys would be around me to get to women, and they would I would be their friend because I had women, and they knew that they would, if they hang out with me, they get to hang out with women. So they had an agenda, and they don't never gave a fuck about me. They don't give a fuck about us. And I used to try. Tupac. Anyway, so I, because I had a large ego, I took it as a compliment at the same time, but I knew deep inside that they didn't consider me. They weren't truly my friends, and if I didn't have these women, they wouldn't be there, and they didn't try to hang out with me. They tried to get women through me. So, and you know, I was true, and I was honorable, and I used to do it all the time, and I used to get my friends to like meet women, and I used to introduce them, and I did it so much, and I gave up on so many women just so that my friends have a shot. And I'm not trying to compliment myself, it's the truth. I don't say it in pride at all. Actually, I say it, if anything, not really, but if anything, in regret. I shouldn't have done that. I should have kept the women to myself. I lost so many great women, and to be frank, 99% of the time they failed. Like they wouldn't even get the girl at the end. So we both lost. Funny. The thing is, deep inside I knew it, but I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be around people. I wanted to have friends. You know, I wanted to be popular. So I would just put up with it deep inside, and it's not, you know, it's not dramatic. It's not like something that you feel it. And I never knew how to express it back then. Now I do. And so that's one example. But let's talk about true friendship. See, I was stuck not long ago in a country, in my country, and because of the war I couldn't get out, and I missed an airplane from a neighboring country, which, let me paint a picture first. Israel, war, can't get out of the country. The only way to go out is through either Egypt or Jordan, which is not ideal. Yeah, Jordan. So, but I did it still, and I went to Jordan. I crossed the border in the middle of the most heated times, and I was also a soldier. So the worst case scenario, like the crazy. And I got to Jordan. I passed the border and I got to the airport, and I missed the airplane because of security. And not that it matters. It's my fault eventually. The point is, my friend, my true friend who I was flying to, bought me a ticket. He knew that I didn't have the money to buy a new one, and it was too late to postpone or cancel it, and he actually bought me a ticket. And see, this is like materialistic, you'd think, right? But no, he saved my ass. I was stuck in fucking Jordan. I would have to go back to Israel, and he fucking saved my ass, and it was very expensive, and he never even asked for it back. He said, don't worry about it. See, and that's true friendship, because he cared, and he showed me how much he cares, and he did it many times, and I consider him a true friend, which is very rare for me, very extremely something that I don't really, I don't use loosely. I'll give you another example. Another friend of mine. In the wartime, there was obviously transportation problems. Well, he didn't buy me anything, but he took me to the border in the middle of the war. He went out of his way to take me to the border. That's true friendship. Like when the times are dark, when you truly need someone, the people that are there, those are your friends. And if you don't have anyone, you should look within and figure out why that is. Don't look outside. Look within. If you have nobody you can trust, then you should be thinking why nobody, because maybe nobody can trust you, as I said earlier. So don't look outside for answers and don't look outside for friends. First, be a friend yourself. Be true yourself. And so I will finish by saying, if you want true friends, first, be a friend to yourself. When you know true friendship and when you're truly genuine and honest with yourself, then first of all, when you know your weakness, I want to put it that way, when you know your weaknesses, quote unquote, then no one can hurt you. And you can turn those weaknesses to strengths. But first you have to acknowledge those weaknesses. And in order to do that, you have to look within and be a true friend to yourself. Then you can be true friends to other people because you're complete. You're honest with yourself first. And that's the real core message of this video. Be a friend to yourself, then you will attract true friends, and then you will be able to be a true friend to others, and then you will attract true friends. And when you attract fake people, you will be able to tell, because you will be grounded. You will know yourself, and you will know what true friendship is. See, if you take your car to the garage and you don't know shit about cars, they can do whatever they want and tell you whatever they want, and you won't know if it's true or not. You have to trust them. You have to take their word for it. But if you do know, then they can't fool you. So before you go to the garage, know your car. Know thyself is what it comes down to. Yeah. I hope someone learned something. I certainly did. And I'll see you next time.